We never should have gone into that cave. Because it wasn't abandoned. It was hungry. I don't want sympathy. I just want someone to tell me I'm not crazy. I've run through every explanation. Exhaustion, hallucination, gas exposure, but nothing adds up. I know what I saw in that cave. I know what we heard and more importantly, what we felt. You can say I'm mistaken. That's fine. Just don't tell me it wasn't real. It was my friend Zoe's idea. She's always had a reckless streak. Urban exploring, off-trail hiking, night diving. I usually talk her down, but this time, I don't know. Something about the way she described the cave made me curious. It's not even on any of the maps, she'd said. A guy on the geology forum posted coordinates before his account went dead. Said the wind didn't blow the same down there. I should have said no. We left early, just 2 backpacks, headlamps, spare batteries, and a rope line. No cell signal where we were going. The cave entrance was narrow, more of a seam in the rock than a mouth. You had to slide in sideways between slabs of limestone to even reach the chamber. The inside was colder than it should have been. Still air like nothing moved in or out. Zoe made a joke about ancient burial grounds. I didn't laugh. There was a dampness to the walls, like sweat, not moisture. The rock was wrong too. It looked like it had been scored with something, thin, deep gouges, inconsistent in pattern. Not pickaxe marks. Not natural erosion. It looked deliberate. We went deeper. The light from the surface was long gone, and all we had was the thin white cone of our headlamps. The passage narrowed, then opened into a wide chamber. I remember thinking the ceiling looked too high for how far we'd gone down. Like we were standing in a space that shouldn't exist. Zoe moved ahead of me, scanning the walls. That's when we found it. A bundle of bones tied with what looked like human hair, hanging from the ceiling by a crude length of sinew. No carvings. No symbols. Just a mass of bones gently swaying. I whispered, "Zoe, I don't think this is abandoned." She didn't respond right away. When she finally did, her voice was hollow. "This wasn't here in the photos." Photos? She hadn't mentioned any pictures before. I didn't ask. I was too focused on the smell that was suddenly thick in the air, like meat left in the sun but sweeter. That's when I heard it. Something scraping stone. Not close. Not far. Somewhere in that massive, impossible chamber with us. I turned and for a second I thought I saw something move. Long and thin, almost like a shadow peeled away from the wall and slipped out of sight. Zoe was already backing up. Her face had gone pale beneath the headlamp's glow. I grabbed her arm and whispered, "We need to go. Now." She didn't argue. We turned, retraced our steps, but the tunnel didn't look the same. The gouges in the walls were deeper now. Fresher. Some still wet. Zoe started muttering under her breath. I counted it. I counted the turns. I swear I did. I told her to keep moving, keep the rope line in hand. But when I reached for it, there was nothing. The rope was gone. Just a frayed end cut clean. Something had taken it. And it wasn't done with us yet. Zoe was unraveling. Her breaths were fast and shallow, fogging up the inside of her headlamp lens. I grabbed her by the shoulders, more to steady myself than her. "Hey," I said quietly but firmly. "We need to keep our heads. You counted the turns, right? So think, what's next?" She shook her head, eyes wide. "I don't know. I did count them, I swear. 3 right, 2 left, slope downward. But this isn't where we came in." I glanced around. The stone felt tighter somehow. Angrier. The air had thickened, like the cave was exhaling slowly and we were breathing in its rot. That smell was stronger now. Clotted. Sickly sweet. I listened. There. Beneath Zoe's frantic breathing. Breathing. Not hers. Not mine. Something deep. Rhythmic. A slow drag in and out, not from any one direction, just around us. Embedded in the walls. Or beneath them. I shushed her and held my hand out. She went quiet. We both heard it then. Not a growl. Not a snarl. Just breath. Like lungs the size of the room, expanding in time with our fear. I scanned the area. "There, look," I whispered. About 10 feet up, there was a narrow ledge, natural rock, slanted inward like a lip above the tunnel mouth. If we could get up there, maybe we'd get a better view of the layout. Or at least feel like we weren't being watched from every direction. I helped Zoe climb first, boosting her from below. Her boots scraped and kicked loose gravel and I winced with every sound. My turn was harder. My fingers trembled against the sharp stone, my legs aching from tension and cold, but I made it. The ledge was wide enough for us to crouch. Our lights reached further up here. That's when I saw it. A shape just outside the cone of our beams. It was too tall. That was my first thought. Not like a person. Like someone had been stretched upright. Arms long, joints sharp, body so thin you could see where the ribs nearly pierced the skin. Its back was turned. Pale, scabbed flesh stretched tight over its frame. Its head scraped the ceiling. And it was listening. One long arm curled out and touched the wall, claw tips dragging across it gently, like it was feeling vibrations through the stone. My breath caught. It froze. No sound. No movement. Then its head twisted, not turned, twisted, the neck bending like a broken branch, until one sunken, pupilless socket faced our direction. It didn't blink. It didn't move. Zoe made a noise, something between a whimper and a choked breath, and I grabbed her mouth just in time. The thing tilted its head. Its other hand flexed. Claws like carved antler tips scraped together, click click click. Then it sank back into the dark. Not walking. Melting. The way it moved made me feel wrong inside, like gravity didn't apply to it the same way. I didn't realize I was crying until I tasted salt. We sat there for what felt like an hour. Maybe it was minutes. Time felt fake down there. Zoe finally leaned in. Her voice was so quiet I barely heard her. I don't think we found the cave. I think it wanted us to find it. That thought didn't feel paranoid. It felt true. The walls were grooved. The air was still. The bones were arranged. This wasn't some forgotten tunnel. It was a trap. Baited with something only the desperate or curious would follow. I pulled out the backup flashlight and checked our gear. Still had a flare. Half a bottle of water. No rope. One knife. We couldn't stay up here. Whatever that thing was, it knew now. We had to move. I started to climb back down when I saw something strange in the rock below. Thin lines in the stone that looked too symmetrical. Almost like script. Not in English. Not anything I recognized. Dozens of little carvings etched into the ledge just below where we sat. Each one a perfect copy of the last. Zoe saw them too. That looks like the markings near the... She stopped herself. Near the bone bundle. We both knew it. Below us, the breathing started again. But this time it wasn't steady. It was excited. I told Zoe to stay. Don't move. Don't make noise. Don't shine your light unless you hear me call for you. She didn't argue. Just nodded with that hollow, hunted look. Her hands gripped the rock until her knuckles went white. I climbed down from the ledge and slipped into the corridor on the far side, one we hadn't seen before. It felt older than the rest. The walls here were darker, like the stone itself had been scorched. Not from fire, from time. Or something older than time. My boots crunched something brittle beneath them. I didn't look down. The deeper I moved, the warmer it got. Not physically. That's not the right word. It was like the space remembered heat, a stale, decaying warmth that stuck to your skin like grease. I turned a corner and found another chamber. This one was smaller. Oval-shaped. The walls weren't stone anymore, at least not naturally. They were carved into reliefs. Figures I didn't recognize, arranged in circles, each with their heads bent toward the center. In the middle of the room was a pit. I don't know how deep it went. My light couldn't reach the bottom. But I could hear it. Something moving down there. Slow. What? Rhythmic. It didn't echo. I backed out before whatever was down there noticed me. When I returned to the ledge, Zoe was gone. No blood. No drag marks. No scuffle. Just gone. Except, there was a new bone bundle. Hanging from the rock just below where we had been sitting. Fresh. Not skeletal. Not cleaned. Something wet still clung to the twine holding it together. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I couldn't. My body locked up, my mind flooded with one thought that repeated over and over. It took her. My flashlight flickered. Not out. Just dimmed. The way a dying memory does in the back of your mind when something older pushes forward. I ran. I don't remember the path I took, only that the cave shifted around me. The same hallway split and doubled back. I saw my own footprints over and over again. And then I didn't. There were no footprints. No dust. Just smooth stone as if nothing and no one had ever walked there before. When I finally collapsed, I was staring up at a patch of sky. Pale morning light filtered through a hole barely large enough to crawl through. Roots hung like fingers. I pulled myself out with everything I had left. I don't remember how I got back to the car. Or how I drove. I woke up in my apartment 2 days later, dehydrated and covered in scrapes. Zoe's things were still in the trunk. She's never been reported missing. No records. No digital footprint. It's like she was erased the moment we stepped into that place. Except, yesterday someone slid something under my door. A strip of pale leather. Tied around a bundle of hair. Zoe's. I recognized the braid. There were markings burned into the leather. Same as the carvings in that cave. I've spent hours trying to match them to anything. Runic scripts, tribal symbology, ancient languages. Nothing matches exactly. But one symbol keeps showing up. It looks like a figure bent backward over a ring of thorns. Sometimes it's drawn with antlers. Sometimes it has no face. Sometimes, it looks like it's smiling. I'm not posting this for clout. I don't care if anyone believes me. I'm posting it because I found something else burned into the inside of the leather. Not in ancient script. In English. 5 words. You were meant to watch. I haven't slept since. And I'm not sure I should. Because sometimes just before dawn, I hear breathing in the walls.